Hello BMs, welcome to my channel. This is Bodfash. Today's tutorial is on this corset Milkmaid gown. The first video is the inspiration while the second video is what I recreated. In this channel, I share pattern drafting and sewing tutorials, DIY tips and tricks, and fashion related content. If you're interested in content like this, please click on the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get into the tutorial proper. I've gone ahead to cut the pattern paper I'll be needing to draft the front upper bodice. I've also ruled a line at the top to mark as my starting point. I'll start imputing my vertical measurement, that's my shoulder to my bust point 10.5, shoulder to under bust point 13.5, and shoulder to half length 17 inches. So I'll just go ahead and draw a line to cut across and label the lines I just made. The next measurement I'll be imputing is half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inch. Then I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll take my neck depth and neck width, which is 3 by 3. Now this upside is not going to be needed in the dressmaking, but I'm just imputing it as a guideline, especially for beginners, so you understand what I am doing. So I'm just going ahead to draft the normal basic body. So now I'm going to impute my chest line. Mine is always 8 inches. And then I'll impute my shoulder measurement again, 7.5 inches horizontally, just to have a straight line. So I'll just go ahead and connect all the dots I have made, and now I'm also drawing out the line for the chest line just to make it visible. I'll look for half of the measurement for this chest line I just drew. Mine is always 4 inches, and then I'll come in by half an inch, connect it to the shoulder slope with a straight ruler. Next, I'm going to impute my bust measurement divided by 4 on this chest line. Afterward, I'll use my curve ruler to connect this dot I just made to the half inch I went in at the armhole line, and we are done. So the next important measurement now to impute is our nipple to nipple measurement, that is half of it. Mine is 4 inches. I'm going to be imputing it from the under bust to the half length. Afterwards, the dart intake I took for this dress is 1 inches, that's half inch on each side of the nipple to nipple line that I imputed. Now that I'm done with that, I just went ahead to add my sewing allowance at the chest line. Afterward, I imputed my under bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. While at the half length, I imputed my half length measurement divided by 4. I went ahead to replace the dart intake, which is also 1 inches. I went ahead to mark my 1 inch sewing allowance. Now I'll just go ahead and connect all the dots I have made. At the center front of this upper bodice, that's from the under bust line, I'm going to come in by half an inch. Also at the bust point measurement, I will also come in by half an inch and connect the two dots together. Go ahead and use the bra cup we are going to be using for this dress. So basically this is a cup corset, but we are going to be turning it into a Milkmaid dress. So place the bra cup exactly on the bust line, making sure that it doesn't exceed the half inch you came in at the center front, just the way you see me do. Go ahead and trace the bra cup. So now that I'm done tracing out the shape of the bra cup, at this armhole area, I'm going to make a straight line to meet that pointy part of the cup. You know, the angle where it looks like it's sharp, that's where I'm going to be tracing. I'm doing that for both the center front and the sides. So the center front, you notice I made it like a V, but I'm going to be changing that because that is like a sweetheart neckline, and I do not want a sweetheart neckline. So we are done with the drafting of this corset, and I'm just going to go ahead to label it, the front, the side front, and the center front. And now I'll go ahead and cut it out the way you see me do. Please watch carefully so you don't cut out the important part. Now I'll go ahead and cut out that cup area. Please don't throw this paper because it's going to be very useful and important. So this is the center front and the other one is the side front, and then I mark this arrow to point that this part is going up, and that is that. So when I open my pattern, I noticed that the V I came in at is going to give me a sweetheart neckline. So I'm just going to make it straight. How do I do that? I use my masking tape and stick it on that part, then make a straight line and then just cut it out. Just as simple as that. We are done with the front pattern of our corset gown or Milkmaid gown, and let's draft the back pattern. So this is the pattern paper I'm going to be using for our back. I went ahead to mark out 1 inch for our zipper allowance, just the way you see me do. I'll place the front pattern that we just finished drafting, that's the center front, exactly on that 1 inch line and marked for the zip. And I'm going to use my masking tape to tape it down to the pattern paper. So basically we are using our front pattern to cut out our back pattern. At the top, I'm just going to draw out a straight line that's exactly as the front piece is. I noticed I made a mistake with my drawing. The line wasn't so straight, so I just corrected it. And then the lower part, I will do the same thing. I'll draw out a straight line to meet the zipper line, and I'll trace out the side of the paper, and we are done. So now I just took out the front pattern and we are done with the back pattern. Let's just do our alterations for the back. Best thing first is to mark our nipple to nipple measurements, which is 4 inch from the top to the bottom. Then we'll draw a straight line just the way you see me do. Afterward, I'm going to take a half an inch at the lower part, that's the half length, then connect it to the top. You notice that for the back piece, we are connecting the dart intake from the top, not the underbust. And then I went inwards by 0.75 inch for the zip botch. That's to eliminate our zipper botch at the back. So I went in by 0.75, and then I connected it from the top to the lower part. I also made sure that I redrew the zipper line. Afterward, at the top of this pattern paper, I came down by 1 inch, and then I connected it from the side back to that 1 inch mark I came down by, just the way you see me do. So this is our side back, this is our center back, and this is our zip allowance. So we are basically done with our back pattern. Just go ahead and cut it out the way you see me do. We are eliminating the dark at the back. I've already placed a water gum on this pattern. That was why when I cut out this dart, I just placed it on top and it gummed. Now I'm just making sure that the side of the front pattern and the side of the back pattern are equal. That's why I'm placing them side by side. I will also go ahead and eliminate the front dart for the front pattern, just the way you see me do. And now we are done with our pattern drafting for both the front and the back pattern. I made use of this crepe fabric and I used a total of 3.5 yards for this particular style. You can use any fabric of your choice. So now I'm just going to work on the skirt part of our dress. Now I'm going to do slash and spread. I'm marking out 1 inch all through, and then I'll use my ruler to just make the line straight up. So this is the Milkmaid part of this cup corset. So I just went ahead to number it, and then I'm going to bring in another paper, draw a straight line in the middle. This is where I'm going to be placing those papers I numbered. So I just went ahead to cut the first piece, then I'll take out 1 inch gap difference to place the second part of the paper, just the way you see me do. But before that, let's go ahead and cut out everything. So now I'm placing them 1 inch apart from each other. If you want your Milkmaid effect to be fuller, you can make it 1.5 inch. We are done with this part. The next thing to do is just to use our marker to trace this thing we just did. And please don't be like me, make sure to always label. So at this point, I'll go ahead and cut it out because we've gotten what we want. So this is our pattern. I've also gone ahead to cut them. For the back, I added 1/2 inch at the top and the lower side. While for the front, I added half an inch at the cup area, the lower side too. And then for the cup, please make sure to add more than half an inch. Add at least 1 inch to 1.5 inch so you don't have issues covering your bra cup. I also went ahead to cut 4 straps for my sleeves and to turn the bra. You will see how later on. So the straps could be the length of your choice. Mine was about 25 to 30 inches long and the width was 1.5 inch wide. Now this bra cup I'm showing you guys right now, this is a push-up bra cup. You know, a push-up bra cup with that stuff that is inside, while this other one is just the normal bra cup. If you are using the normal bra cup, go ahead and sew in half an inch from the top to the midpoint, just the way I'm showing you guys right now. But if you're using the push-up bra cup, which is what I used, there's no need to sew in half an inch. So guys, now we are going to cut the lining for the bra cup, and that is why I am folding a piece of cloth for it. Now I'm going to teach you a very simple method for curvy stuff, especially bra cup. I went ahead to cut a piece of cloth I know was going to be enough to cover my bra cup, and then I went ahead to fold it into 2 and into 4. I'm just going to trim it off the way you see me do, as if I am cutting a flake, and I'll go ahead and notch the midpoint. While this is still on fold, I'll come in from both ends by 1 inch, just as you see me do, and then I'll go ahead and connect it to the notch midpoint, and I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it just the way you see me do. Once I'm done with that, I trimmed off the excesses, and now we have our lining for the bra cup. Now I'll just bring in my bra cup and fix it. I've already done that with one. Now let me show you guys how I went about it. The part of that's the inside of the bra cup, the part that's going to be on your skin, just fold it inward the way you see me do, making sure that the midpoint is matching that line that you just sewed, and then turn it inward again the way I did, so that I can pin on it and take it to my sewing machine to sew it all around. Now this is the final result of what I was doing. In case you do not understand this part, please watch this video again, and trust me, it's very simple. So once I'm done lining the bra cup, the next part I want to do is to cover it, and this part is going to be the outer part. I've gone ahead to do my gather stitches on both the top and the bottom of this fabric. I'm just going to sew down the part towards the center front of my bra cup, which is what I just did. The reason for doing this is so that the part to the midst of my chest will be neat, and it will help in covering the bra cup in a very neat and nice way. The next thing to do is to drag your gathers. So while I'm sewing on my sewing machine, I'm going to pleat it down so that everything will be clean and in place. Make sure to arrange it carefully when you are sewing. I'm done sewing, and see how neat it's looking, and it has this pleat effect or ruch effect around the bra cup, while the center front of the bra cup is sealed up so the bra won't be showing. And this is the lining part of our bra cup. We are done with this part, so I'm just going to take this and attach the rope, that's the rope to the front of the bra cup, the rope that gave it that Milkmaid effect in front. Attach the right side of the rope to the lining side of the bra cup, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch around. As if you are making a bias tape, you could just attach it on the bra cup and top stitch on it. That way you are going to be covering the rough edges of the bra cup. So I've gone ahead to do this for the two sides of my bra. The longer part of the rope is going to be the one in front. Now I'm going to attach this bra cup to the upper side of my corset top. Before I do that, I'll make sure to attach my sleeve. I'm doing it now because I want to have a neat finishing. So from the sewing allowance, I went in by 1.5 inch. Let's take this to our sewing machine and stitch the top the way my fingers are directing. So I'm done right now, and this is how it's looking. So I'll just go ahead and give this a good press before attaching my bra cup to it. Now I'm just going to fix my bra cup the way you see me demonstrating right now. I'll take it to my sewing machine and then I'll just stitch on it. I'm done fixing my bra cup to the upper part of my top. This is how it came out. I'll take it to my serger machine and just serge the rough edges at the lower part of this top. I've also gone ahead to sew the back of the outfit. I came in from the allowance by 1.5 inch to fix the sleeve, and then I sewed the side and the zipper side with the lining so that I'll have a very neat finishing at this back. I'm just going to attach the front piece to the back piece. So I noticed that this side front and side back is too pointy. That's around the armhole region. What I would do here is I'm going to trim it off when I am sewing it, just to give it a little nice curve. I'm done attaching the front and the back piece together, and this is it. And then now I'm going to be attaching the first layer of the skirt. What I did was to measure the round circumference of my waist, that's my half length. I'm going to multiply it by 2 inches because I want it to be a bit fuller. You could do yours 3 inches or even more. So I've gone ahead to cut this piece of cloth. So from my half length to the full length of my gown is about 24 inches. So the first gathers is going to be 10 inch. So by the time I finish adding my sewing and hemming allowance, I got 11.5 inches. So I've run the gather stitches and then I've hemmed the lower part of this first gathers that I'm going to be attaching. For the second tier of this dress, I'm going to be hemming both sides because this upper side is going to be overlapping the first gathers I would join to the upper bodice. I got the length of the second tier by multiplying the circumference of the first tier by 2. I used approximately 2 yards of my fabric for the second part, while the length of the skirt was the remaining 14 inches that I used to cut. Now I've finished joining the first gathers to my half length, and this is how it's looking already, very neat. So I'm just marking the zipper allowance from the top to about 5 inch below my half length. I'm going to now stitch the other part down. This is because the gypsy effect is going to be around the first gathers. Now I have gathered the gypsy part of my dress, that's the second gathers, and I'm just going to give you an instance of how it's supposed to be attached on the dress. I'm going to place it on my dress, that's the way you see me do, and then I will top stitch on it. This is why I hemmed the first gather, so I'll have a very neat base. So this is the end of our tutorial, and this is the final look of our dress, and I went ahead to attach the zip. Thank you so much for watching to this part. I really appreciate. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please go ahead and do that now. I know you want to, you might have just forgotten. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you found it valuable, please share it to friends and loved ones.